In 4 days, the QuantCrawler Signal Strategy comes out, and today this video is going to be a full walkthrough setup of exactly how you can get it automated using QuantCrawler Ghost to take all of these trades. I'm going to show you exactly how to set your alerts in TradingView, exactly how to get the information you need out of QuantCrawler, and show you the back-tested results that come in the one button preset click within the strategy. If you aren't the greatest at getting things set up technically and you just need a very simple walkthrough, this literally is add the strategy to your chart, select the preset, select the time frame from that preset, input your information from Ghost, and turn it on and let it run. I couldn't have made this any more simple than how it's going to be released, so let's get into it. So first, make sure you're logged into Ghosts, and on the ticker screen is how you do that is you go to quantcrawler.com/ghost and then just click the tickers button and you get right here to your ticker management. This is where you're going to operate everything for your webhook within TradingView. But we're going to come back to this, but just be logged in to quantcrawler.com/ghost and then be in the ticker screen sitting right here. Yours won't have all of this obviously because these are my accounts and my tickers that I have set up. Yours will either be blank or you'll have ones you've already set previously, and you'll be ready to click this add futures ticker. So let me hop back over to TradingView and show you the strategy and exactly what you're going to do to make this happen. So once you get access to the strategy and you have it added to your chart, I'm not going to walk through how to do that, but basically you would just come up here to indicators. And then on this left-hand side over here, you would click invite only and then find the QC signals preset strategy within your invite only tab. I have a ton of stuff in there, so it would just be confusing. So I will just leave it as is, but go to indicators and then invite only, select the strategy, and it will add it to your chart and look just like this right here. Now, the very next thing you want to do is if you want your reports off the back tested level 2 tick data. So all of this is optimized in my Python engine with level 2 tick data, and it's optimized over the whole entire time frame of that data I have, which is the last 14 and a half months, almost 15 months. So it's from April 1 of 2025 to current day, I believe as of the 20th of June. It's the 24th currently, but from April 1, 2025 to June 20. So when you look at the strategy and those results, if you want to see what you're seeing on this video, you need to set your date range to exactly what I have on here to mirror these results. So you can see here we have April 1 to June 20, but I'm on the wrong ticker. So I did that for a reason so I could show you exactly what to do. You come up here and highlight where the signal strategy is added to your chart and come over to your settings icon right here and open it up. Now, when you get in here, you're going to see strategy preset. All you need to do is click this button right here, and these presets are built into the strategy. So you can select any of these for futures and any of these for Forex. And as you would assume, these numbers right here are the time frame that correlate with the pair. So MNQ 4-minute, for example, we're going to click that one. And then all you need to do is click the rest of the items here are visual. You literally, let's do it again. You open the strategy, you pick which one you want to run and be like, oh, MNQ 4-minute, click, and then click OK. That's it. Then the next thing you want to do is make sure you're actually on the time frame you selected. If you try to run these settings on a 5-minute time frame, that's not the 4-minute time frame. You need to be on the 4-minute time frame. So is how you do that is click this little arrow right here and it will open it up. If you don't have a time frame that is in these preset settings like the 20-minute for example, you can easily add a time frame within TradingView. So again, click the arrow up by where your current time frames are and you can do add custom interval, and then right here you could type in 20. I already have it, but type in 20, you would then click add and it will then put the 20-minute time frame right here so you can select it. So in this one, we need to be on the 4-minute, which I'm already on, and then we selected MNQ, so I need to go over to MNQ, obviously. Now we'll give this a second to load, and then I'll pull up the strategy report to show you how this has actually performed over the last 14 months. So it's loaded everything. If we scroll back, you'll see here that it's firing shorts. This is where your alert is going to come in from Ghost, but I won't get ahead of myself. Let's open up the strategy report and see what it looks like when this updates. So here we have our actual numbers from April 1 of 2025 to June 20 of 2026. The total P&L, $10,883.62, max drawdown of $868.96. If you're new to trading and just finding my channel, let me just explain what this is. This doesn't mean that this strategy only lost $868.96 over this 14-month period. Is what this means is from its highest peak value to its lowest trough value, meaning the lowest it dropped, $868 from its highest point to its lowest point. So you're not saying I'm setting this and I'm only going to lose $868 and that's what's going to happen. And if I lose more than that, then this is wrong. It's not how that works. That's not how TradingView reports this. This is a peak to trough drawdown, meaning highest peak to lowest valley. But over the last 14 months, profitable trades or your win rate, 76.39% over 775 trades with a profit factor of 1.552. Now, if your numbers look different than this, they shouldn't. But the one thing that could skew these is if you come back up into your settings in the signals preset, is going to be over here in your properties tab. This most likely means your commissions are off or your slippage is off. So I have this set at 62 cents per order because we're only running one contract. If you're going to scale this and run 10 contracts, let's say, you need to have this per contract so your commissions are accurately being reflected in your number. I have the slippage at 2. It's fairly accurate. I've back tested this with my own slippage tracking that I have from my orders, and I have about 1.5 points of slippage. So I leave mine at 2 ticks. Excuse me, I have 1.5 ticks of slippage, not points, but you get what I'm saying. 2 ticks is within the range of what I have back tested personally off my live account. So again, 62 cents per order. If you scale more than one contract, adjust this to per contract, and then it will scale with you as you do that. This is your preference, but just know if these numbers don't look the same on yours, it's because this properties tab is off, or you don't have the date set correctly to the back test. So the back test, like I briefly explained, is level 2 tick data from April 1 to current day or June 20. And it's done with a 70-30 walk forward test, which means 70% of the optimization is done and all of that data is seen, while the most recent 30% of that data is held aside. Whatever settings find the best results in the 70% that the engine can see has to be validated and hold up equal to or better than the original 70% on blind data that it's never seen before. It's the same process that institutions use and hedge funds use and quant traders. Everybody backtests this way. Some people like a 60-40. I prefer a 70-30. If you want to do a 60-40, you'd have to have your own engine and do it that way. But I just follow what institutions and hedge funds use because if for them it's good enough for me, just being a small little retail trader from my home office. I don't care much more than that. So this is used level 2 tick data, 70-30 walk forward back test. 70% of the data is seen and optimized and the other 30% held aside. Those settings have to hold up in that time frame. Otherwise, it's thrown out, recycled, and the engine keeps running until it finds a valid pair or setup, which is why when you look at these settings, you can only find on MNQ, or excuse me, on futures that I have MNQ, NQ, MGC, and one MES pair. I couldn't find anything else on ES, YM, MYM, M2K. I tried all of those pairs and the engine did not find anything over millions and millions of trials that would hold up and validate to the risk parameters that I have in place. So for now, these are the only preset settings in here. As my engine finds them over time, not only will these be updated regularly, new additions will be added in here as well. So now that we've seen the validation of these numbers are fantastic, the win rate is great, the profit factor, could it be better? Sure. But if the profit factor scales to where we take profits, we may make more money here, but this number will increase because right now these are doing basically quick in and outs and taking occasional losses with really quick wins. That's why you have 775 trades total over a 14-month period. So now when it comes to setting up your alert, this is what you do right here. We need to come over to Ghost. We need to click add futures ticker, and then we type in MNQ. Your strategy name, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it signals test because I'm not actually going to put this live just because I don't want this to take a trade while we're actually making this video. So you can see here, this pops up. You can add it to a group if you want. For me, I already have a signals group, but right here I could type signals test and just click enter. I now have a new group called signals test. I then am running one contract right here. I don't need to do anything with this section because the strategy fires the entries and the exits, which sends the webhook to Ghost. So Ghost will enter and exit as it gets the webhook order from TradingView directly. If you don't like that and you wanted to run your own stop loss and take profit, you can, but just know you may not experience the same results that that backtest shows if your stop loss is too tight or your take profit is too large. Then in here, you would just simply select your account. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to link this to an account. You could click copy trader mode and any account, an unlimited number of accounts. If you had 100 accounts in here, you could select every single one of them. And when a webhook comes in, Ghost will send it out. So now is what you're looking for is this section right here. This is where you do your webhook integration. So you want to click this, I know what I'm doing, even if you don't know what you're doing. I need to actually reword this and restructure this so it's better. But let's click I know what I'm doing and then scroll down just a little and you can keep your webhook on screen as well as the order message here on screen as well. So I'm just going to copy on this, click I know what I'm doing. This is your alert message that you need and click copy. We then come back over to TradingView and right click in the same chart that your signals preset strategy is set to and click add alert. Once you're on this screen right here under condition, you don't want it to be price. You need to select the QCS preset or QuantCrawler Signals preset. So click that. And then the next thing you need to do is in the very box right below where you selected the strategy is open this up and click order fills only. The reason this is important is that if you leave it on this one, it's going to double fire orders because this is order fills and alert functions. You're getting two at the same time. You're getting an alert and you're getting an order. So it's going to ping and it's going to go quick. So you need to be on order fills only and don't worry about this one. Don't set this one. Just leave it order fills only. I can't remove it. So click order fills only in the middle. You can set an expiration date. I have mine open ended because my alerts just never expire. You need a certain trading view plan for that. I'm not sure which one, but I have the ultimate plan. So I just leave mine open ended. You can set it to whatever you'd like. Under message, you want to open it up and then completely delete everything out of here. And this is where we're going to paste this message from Ghost right here. That's this exact message. Again, click copy. And you can see that's what's here in the alert message section of TradingView. Your alert name doesn't matter. It's whatever you would remember. So I'll just put MNQ signals test and then you click apply. Now, the only other thing you need to do is come down to this notifications tab at the bottom and where it says webhook, open it up. Yours might look different. It might say other things, but I only have webhook enabled. So whatever this is down here under notifications, it may look different. Click this box right here. Whatever highlights, just click it. You can have any of these selected. I don't like extra notifications. I don't like extra sounds. I don't want any of that on my computer. So I only have webhook selected right here. And then you want to come over to Ghost again and click copy URL, and it will copy this whole entire thing. You then want to delete out this entire webhook and then just paste in the one from Ghost right here. And then you simply click apply. Now, I'm not worried about you guys seeing this because I'm deleting this ticker before anyone would even see this video. So don't worry about my security on this, but your webhook URL, do not ever share this with anybody because if somebody has this webhook, they can send any order they want to Ghost. And if it's activated, it will actually take the trade and execute it. This is your specific webhook. Do not share it with anybody. The only person you could ever potentially share it with would be me and tech tickets and a secure email. Don't ever give it to anybody else. Then from there, once you've done that and pasted in your specific and direct URL, you just want to click apply. Now, right here to recap on the alert, you have QCS preset selected. You're on the right ticker on the right time frame for the right preset. You see it right here. You then have order fills only, the middle option right here, and then scroll down to message and you have this alert message from Ghost right here. Again, copy, one click copy. That's all it takes. Paste it in and name it whatever you want. Click apply. Then under notifications, whatever you see right here, it may look different. Just simply click that box. And the most important one in here is this webhook. Delete everything out of it entirely. Come back over to Ghost, copy the URL, and then simply paste it in, click apply. And then once you click create, this alert is live. So I'm not going to click this because I again don't want this order to go through if something triggers while I'm making the video. But once you click create, it will come over here into your alerts and you can see I have my alerts set up for Forex and I have it set up for futures. So you will see whatever you name yours look just like this. Mine says NQ live account. I have it right here. Then once you're done with your alert, you come back over to Ghost and all you need to do is click save changes. So I'm going to click it because nothing's going to point to it. And then when I collapse these, you'll see I have signals test right here. You would have your account configured. This is letting you know that I didn't select an account. So if you did not select an account in your setup, this is going to very actively remind you and flash at you because you're going to get a signal come in and there's going to be no account to route it to. If you need to change anything within here, all you do, as you would guess, is simply click edit settings. And then this opens everything up that we were just in. I'm going to rename this because I had a capital I and I didn't mean to. A lowercase there. I did the same thing on the group. I'm not going to change that one, but you get the point. You can put notes in here. You can adjust your contract scale. You can change your stop loss and take profit. You could set certain trading hours if you want to. You can enable copy trader mode. You can do all of this, block click save settings, and all of this will update for you right here. So that is how you set up the strategy. Now, I'm going to quickly go through one more. I'm not going to go in great length like this, but I want you to see how you would shift this if you want to trade another ticker. So you have this set up. This is MNQ 4 minute. We just walked through that. Now, this is what you want to do. If you want to run another ticker and you have this one set, this is the best way to do it. You just simply come up here to where you are in your strategy name, click manage layouts, and then click make a copy. So this one, we're going to say MGC signals test. I'm going to click make copy and it's going to pop up a whole new screen. That way, this MNQ chart, this alert, this everything is locked in. This is just MNQ. I'm going to leave that alone. So for the sake of the video, I'll even show you this too. Come back up to the arrow on your MNQ, go to rename, and I'm going to just put this MNQ signals test. That way I know this template specifically is just MNQ, so I don't change anything and mess anything up, and I can always come back to it at any time. So now we made MGC signals test. As you would expect and guess, we need to come up to the top and we need to change our ticker to MGC. And then we'll just give QuantCrawler Signals preset a chance to load, which it just popped in. And this is not valid because we are still on the MNQ preset. So we need to come back to our settings here, open this up and find MGC. And this is MGC 5 minute. So we will click that and then click OK. Next thing we need to do is come over to the 5 minute time frame. So now it's reloading the MGC preset settings on the 5 minute time frame. And then we can come down to our strategy report and see what this has done over the same time period from April 1 of 2025 to June 20 of 2026. So you can see here from April 1 of 2025 to June 20 of 2026, total P&L is 29,630. The max drawdown is 2,389. Profitable trades is almost 51% with a profit factor of 1.675. I will tell you immediately, the one thing I don't like about this, I have this in here because it is a good strategy, but as with any trend finding strategy or indicator, it caught the all-time high of gold. So like this run right here, look at the bottom down here, you're at a cumulative P&L of 7,445 January 27. By the end of the first week of February, you've doubled your account size from 7,500, let's call it 7,500. In less than a week, the account more than doubles because of the all-time high climb on gold. So a lot of the P&L on this strategy, $8,000 of it is in a 7 day period, this massive ledge. So in truth, when I look at things like this, I say this was a big spike in a short period. I'm going to take this $8,000 or so from this number and just deduct it and be like, all right, this is fairly steady. You have some big peaks and climbs, and then it keeps trucking away and chipping away. This right here, you have another big climb. Those aren't uncommon, it appears, from this strategy over the last 14 months. This, however, is uncommon. So if I was really taking numbers from a strategy standpoint, I'm going to deduct out this time frame. So 7,500 to 16,500. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's about 9 grand. I would assume this strategy right here is going to make $20,000, not 29,000, because this is an anomaly. So you get what I'm saying there. When you have massive spikes like that, you just have to be realistic. Is this going to repeat itself? Maybe. Is it also going to just continue steady grind like this? Most likely that's going to be what's happening. So these are the results over the last 14 months, and we would do the exact same thing on here as we did on MNQ. We would come over here to Ghost, we would click Add Futures Ticker, MGC, and we would type Signals Test and click Add Ticker. This is then going to pop up under our group. We can select Signals Test. We're going to leave this at 1. I'm going to uncheck use stop loss and take profit, which is checked by default because I want the strategy to run the entry and exit. You would scroll down here, select your account or copy trade your account, select as many as you want. And then you get down here to the section you need the webhook integration. And again, click I know what I'm doing. Scroll down a little more. So you got every button you need to click in one screen and click copy while you're here on the alert message. You then come back over to MGC, right click, add alert, condition at the top, select QCS preset, select the box right below it and go to order fills only. Open up your message, highlight all of this, delete it, and repaste this in here. Type MGC signals test or whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want. Click apply and then notifications. Click whatever is here. Again, yours may look different. Mine just says webhook because that's all I have enabled. You will delete all of this out right here. Come back to Ghost and click copy URL and then simply paste it in right there. Click apply. And then once you click create, that alert is set. One key note here, your webhook is not the same per ticker. Every single webhook is unique to every single ticker that gets placed on here. So when I click save settings, just so you guys can see it, MNQ has its own webhook and MGC has its own webhook. So if you have MNQ with account A and MGC with account B, but you use the same webhook, both of them are going to get the same orders. Just so you within Ghost, every single ticker gets its own unique webhook. So every single one of these will be different when you get in here. And it's very important that you map them to the right one or you're going to have trades going on the wrong account. So we've done MNQ, we've done MGC. I'm now going to show you NQ, just the back tested results because I just want to show you what it looks like. So let's go over to NQ. I'm not making a new template on this one. Actually, I will because we want to keep consistent. And if you guys didn't know you could do this or you just want to keep everything clean, come up to this little caret right here and click make a copy. We'll type in NQ signals test. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. NQ signals test and click make copy. We now want to come into the preset, open up the settings, select NQ 3-minute, and then simply click. We then need to come over to the NQ timeframe or ticker, excuse me, come over to the NQ ticker, wait for this to populate, and then we need to double check here in our settings, we are on the 3-minute time frame. So we'll come back up to our time frame caret and go to 3 minutes. We'll let this load again, and then we'll go look at the strategy report over the last 14 months. Now, NQ being a completely different beast and higher risk, you can see here, it's not as impressive as the main MNQ one we have, but still 43,289. Max drawdown of 9,793. Profitable trades is 71% of the time for a profit factor of 1.213. This one here is one that I am running. I have this. You guys can see that it's on my live account. I run this one because my live account has the room to handle this kind of drawdown. I don't worry about it. This is not made for prop firm accounts. You could run it, but I would almost guarantee you if you try to run NQ on here, if you don't catch wins in a row, you're going to lose your prop firm 50K accounts if you try it. Like these here are quick scalps, but the losses are $781. You lose 4 of these, your accounts are done. You would have to get very lucky and catch a string of wins in a row. So I would not recommend. Like this right here is $1,500 alone. You have a couple wins sprinkled in, but you do catch some pretty good runs right here. And it's great when everything is on, but like this section right here, not a lot of fun at the beginning of June. So this is not made for prop firm accounts. This is really not made for anybody who doesn't love NQ and doesn't mind letting this just run, because if you're like, I'm going to set it for 30 days and see what happens, you may or may not be having a fun time. I would just be careful because this is a completely different beast than MNQ. And the reason there's no direct correlation, if you guys ever see my live account on MNQ, I run 10 contracts on there. And people are like, why don't you just run one NQ? And this is a very good example of it right here, because NQ and MNQ, even though they're 99.9% the same, they have different volumes, and QC signals is a volume strategy. So it's different. It's not a direct one-to-one correlation or translation over. I've tried it. It doesn't work. So everyone has said just run one NQ. It doesn't work. The volume's different. So if you didn't know that, you now do. Things like YM and MYM, the volume, MES volume is different. Same ticker, 99.9% the same, different volume. MNQ is the most traded futures ticker in existence. So the volume is just different. There's more money. So now I will quickly show you the MES 5 minute, and then I will show you the 20-minute swings just so you can see these results. And then we're going to wrap up the video. But I want to quickly show you this for MES. We'll give it a second to let it load here. And then on MES, this obviously looks disgusting. We're still on the 3-minute time frame. You need to switch over to the 5-minute time frame. And then once you do that, life is good. You can see one MES contract, total P&L 6,213. You had a decent little spike in the beginning here, and then it's just level and a slow, steady grind to the top. Max drawdown of $613, a win rate of 71.65% or profitable trades, and then a profit factor of 1.771. These are plug and play right out of the box. Come on here, set up your ghost ticker, right click, add alert, go through what we just did, and all you have to do is load this, select the preset, and rock and roll. So I want to show you guys the last two items before we go, and it's just for proper expectations. This is a really good example. Let's look at this strategy one more time before we leave it. We're on the 5-minute time frame on MES, and I think it said it had 300 and something trades over the course of a year. 328 trades over 14 months. The reason I want to highlight this and emphasize this is because I think MNQ had like 700. So there's a lot of volume on these because it's a volume strategy and a volume indicator that QuantCrawler Signals is. But if you look over here in the presets, I have 20-minute timeframes. And this again is just going back to the expectations and the realistic part of the time frame differences. So let's go MNQ. We'll pop back over to that and then come up to my time frame caret and scroll down to 20 minutes. And this report is going to update. And I want you guys to see the volume difference. The only reason I have this in here is because the optimizer found it and I wanted it to be included as maybe a supplementary preset, or maybe you only want to run this, but it only has 108 trades over 14 months, and the reason for that is the time frame. You're only getting a candle print every 20 minutes, and then the strategy breaks all of that down, and if the settings match on every 20-minute candle, then it will fire a trade when everything aligns. But this is mainly for people who are going to say 108 trades is not enough to validate a back test and know that this has a real edge. And I 100% agree with you. But was I going to not include it? No, I was going to include it because this is viable. This is an option. Look at these runs it goes on. You backtrack one trade, you take a loss, and then it runs one trade, and then it runs. And this is a very good step ladder up to high equity. So the trade volume is not as much. The win rate is incredible, but the win rate may be inflated just simply because of the numbers compared here to the MNQ shorter time frame where it takes 700 trades. So I only say that because I know someone will say something to me. This isn't valid because of the trade volume. And it's like you're on the 20-minute time frame. So we have to be understanding of that as well and have some market knowledge and know-how to know that time frames affect this number right here. And they affect how strategies and signals get produced. But just for transparency's sake, even going back to January 1 of 2024 and testing longer than I have level 2 tick data for, the strategy is still profitable at $5,800 with a drawdown of 1,600. I know it's not impressive, but there's 242 trades here now on the 20-minute time frame since January 1 of 2024. So 2.5 years of trade time with a almost 78% win rate and a profit factor of 1.5. This equity curve is not nearly as beautiful, but it is still taking massive runs with a few pullbacks, some runs, and then this in here, tariff time. You can expect anything. I'm going to leave it completely unbiased, but anything election related, you're going to have this no matter what party it's going for. You can pretty much historically go look at when president is changing, what the market is doing, and it's unstable. So once we get past tariff talk, that levels out, and that's how we're back in our climb right here. But prior, things were going smooth. We hit a tariff talk and we're running up. So not nearly as beautiful on a 2-year, however, still profitable, still a great win rate. 242 trades is a very good test sample over 2.5 years. Profit factor of 1.5, max drawdown of $1,600. The last one to show you, MGC on a 20-minute swing. I'm going to readjust my time frame real quick. And then here you have MGC over the same time frame, April 1, 2025 to June 2026. You can see the strategy 12,630 with a $1,700 drawdown, 61% win rate. Again, lower trade count, 20-minute time frame. profit factor 3.318. However, this is gold's all-time high. So you are catching that run. So from here, 3139 to $8,000, take $5,000 in my head out of this number. The strategy is probably closer to $7,000 with a $1,700 drawdown and probably a slightly similar win rate with a lesser profit factor because you are not having, if you're excluding this $5,000 jump over two trades. So that right there is the QuantCrawler Signals strategy with presets built in that is coming out on June 28th. I will be preloading people onto it Saturday, June 27th, so everyone has time to get things set up. But the official release date is June 28th when market reopens. That's this coming Sunday. Today's the 24th for me, which is Wednesday. And this is for all of our QuantCrawler Elite members and lifetime members.